Yo, what up? This is y'all shook up. Just showing a little different video today. How many people play ESO? It's by JakeClips. I'm doing a reaction video. I think he did a really good job on showing how many people play. I'm not saying that this game is huge and everybody's playing it, and I'm not saying that everybody's leaving it. It's just an example of how many people are playing it, because I have a lot of buddies that play Call of Duty, a lot of buddies that play Fortnite, and they're just getting tired of everybody cheating in those games. So they wanted a game to come to, and I said, hey, I play ESO. Also, I just had to let E-Man know he ain't the only one. You know what I mean? But no, I'm just messing with you guys. My shoulder's messed. I actually hurt my shoulder. I've been out of the gym for almost 2 months. My shoulder's all jacked up, but you know how it is. You get hurt, you go back. I mean, I've been working out for years, so really, I mean, I don't even have to lift very long, and I just muscle memory. So, but yeah, let's get into the video, and let's get comfortable because I can't be sitting up like that. I'm tired from work, man. I work all day long. I'm constantly working like the rest of you guys. Just work, 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 pay bills, play ESO, work, go with the family, play ESO. You know, it's just a... So let's get into this, see what Jake's got to say. Personally, I think he did a great job on explaining how many people play. I'm not defending the game and saying, look, we got billions of people, because that's a lie. The lie detector determined that was a lie. So let's get into this.
If you had a prosthetic arm, how do you tell the difference between left and right? Well, righty tighty, lefty loosey.
There we go with them father jokes. With another one. Excuse me. I'm tired.
What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to break down how many ESO players play ESO. It's actually a relatively simple question, but to get to the answer, we had to do tons of polls, find out all these different per capita answers. What's the average play time? Where does the average player play? Is that on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, but not just PC? Are they logging in through Steam? Are they using the launcher? There was a lot to break down. Let's go over the math and the numbers. And here is the Steam charts. Now, this is the perfect jumping off point, because these are...
So, even though, like, he's going to explain it, I want to give some of my reaction. I've already known Steam is not the only thing for ESO. Like, I've been known that. Like, everybody should know that. There's a launcher, Epic launcher. I mean, so there's multiple ways to play this game. I know that 10,000 players, 42 minutes is more like 17,000. Now, that's not a crazy amount. And I'm not defending ESO. Like, oh my God, look how many people are playing. Because I'm pretty sure literally every game, I mean, 17,000 players is not very much. But I'm just giving in perspective for people that haven't played ESO, that want to know, is there more than 100 people playing? The answer is yes. So
actual numbers that we can look at and assess. Now, which numbers we choose to focus on here is key. A lot of people think that I might look at, playing 42 minutes ago, 24-hour peak, all-time peak. Unfortunately, all those numbers, worthless.
49K, that's
because
nothing.
At the end of the day, if I was recording this at, a very high playtime hour, within the last 43 minutes might be a very high number. The 24-hour peak could be different if I was playing near a holiday or a weekend. The all-time peak obviously will remain the same, but also the all-time peak's not going to help us in our quest to figure out, on average, how many daily ESO players there are. So the number that we are instead going to be focused on is the last 30 days, 10,858.8. I do also want to apologize to the person who's not considered a whole person. They do say to the person who had the whole left side of their body cut off that he's all right now. Next, we just look at how many people on the ESO player base play on Steam versus other platforms. Important to note, though, that...
So that's the thing. Steam, different launcher. Different launcher. And that's the thing. You got different launchers. Also you got Xbox, PlayStation. It's not like it's just, Steam is everything. It's obviously these don't count for PC, but this is different. So
this had 3.4K votes, and it shows that 29% of the ESO player base plays on Steam. This is important because we know exactly how many players are playing on Steam. So now we know how many players are playing on all the other platforms if we assume that per capita wise, the ESO player base plays equally amongst all the platforms. I will note that we are going to break down some confounding variables. We're going to break down some statistical problems with these numbers, but we might as well go through the whole calculation before we start poking holes in our own logic just for funsies. I will say, though, that it is probably fairly accurate because while there's definitely a difference in play trends between console players and PC players, at least we can use this to get some raw numbers. And so the mean number, so again, this is the average number for any given moment over the last 30 days is 37,465.17. Unfortunately, the guy that was 0.8, you're now 0.17. So sorry to be that guy here for you. Now, this is a great number because this is generally how many ESO players are logged in at any given moment with our current last 30 days numbers. But imagine now for an instant you were trying to figure out how many unique players played ESO on a daily given day. Now that's where the numbers become a little more crazy, a little more fun to see if we can extrapolate for. So the next thing I did actually was some general research. How much time do gamers spend gaming each week? And then how is that broken down by different age demographics? Because I actually know what the ESO demographics are to some extent because I can see based on my own YouTube analytics what's the breakdown of.
This is wild. Okay, so you got Gen Z. I didn't think, I felt like millennials would be at the very top, but apparently not.
Of Gen Z, boomers, millennials, Gen Z amongst my audience, and therefore how many hours are they playing each week? The problem is that you can see that we're really starting to pull data from so many different sources and so many different weird areas that there's really no perfect way to do this. Also noting too that people who generally play MMOs generally play them for a little bit longer than people who don't play MMOs. Like people who might be playing, a first-person shooter might be playing different lengths of gaming versus people who play, massively multiplayer online games. So these numbers are definitely not perfect, but what we're going to take is the number of 12 hours per week, because a lot of people, even when I did my own poll of how many people play ESO every single day, a lot of the comments noted that they get on, do their Seals of Endeavors, do some other dailies, and then get off. So I think 12 hours on average for the ESO player per week is a fairly accurate number that we can roll with, and it matches up pretty well with the actual data that I was able to find online that goes with it. I do want to warn you, the numbers here start to get a little.
And see, here's the thing. So I work Monday through Saturday with Sunday off, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I literally work 16-hour days. So there's absolutely some people might work like me, and I could only play Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But I constantly play the game. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm not even counting as a player.
Cattywampus, so just bear with me. So we know that on average across all platforms, there's 37,465 players at any given hour. The unique gamer plays for about 1.72 hours per day, so about 1 3/4 hours or just under 2. So if every 2 hours we're getting a new unique gamer to meet that 37,465 average, how many unique gamers, do we have? And if you put in all those numbers, you'll be able to get to a number of 5,223,674. And we actually do end up with a whole number. So that person who was all right now is all that's left again. Some other fun statistical data we can actually get from Dexerto. Now, Dexerto.
So this was one of the things that I was actually gonna show in my own video before I decided that it was just better to react to his video because it was just so well done. I was going to show you guys this page.
Dexerto gives us some interesting numbers now
because it kind of gives you like the whole number for all around, which is not very big. Like I said, I'm not defending this game and being a huge game. It was very small. So she said,
this is the previous 30 days that they're talking about. So this would be through actually the month of December, and they say thanks to activeplayer.io that they're able to estimate in the last 30 days an average of 2.8 million players logged into the Elder Scrolls Online. This is higher than the average of last month, which was 2.8 million, but 2,000 less. Now, what's interesting though is they averaged the concurrent player count over the last month settled at 21,018 players. But I actually think that this number is incorrect because when you actually go to the numbers that they're going off of, they're only counting the platforms of PC and Mac OS, meaning that there's a very real chance that these numbers are correct for PC numbers if you were to combine the actual Steam launcher in addition to the PC launcher that ESO has, in addition to the actual other ones, such as if you were to play through Epic Games. But I don't think that this number itself is as accurate because it's not counting the console health of the game.
That, let's just say 28,000 was like what we're getting on average. That's not bad, but you know, we're talking about a 10-year-old game here. That has a lot of issues on the PvP side. So, you know, obviously Fortnite, it even says Fortnite, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Black Ops 6, Overwatch.
And we just finished smack talking MMO population, but another source that Dexterito sources is actually ActivePlayer.io. And you'll notice something right away, 39,325 users. That's very close, Jake, to what we had said earlier. It is. And then we have 2.9, almost 3 million active players over the last 30-day period. And I do want to give a important addendum here. Just a quick note. That includes everyone who's got multiple accounts. It includes bots, people who are playing on ESO Plus for the first time. It includes all those people, just because if I don't say that, there's going to be people commenting that in the comments below. And if we were to scroll down to the actual player charts, you can see the average players they estimated in the last 30 days to actually be even higher than we did, with the average unique daily players being 805,000 concurrent players. And then they give us a bit more of their numbers here. And if you were to actually take these numbers and compare them to Steam charts, you would notice that they're very, very close. For example, you see a 19% difference in the month of July. And if you were to go actually to the month of July, here you would see a 20% difference. So you could see their numbers also mimic Steam's numbers.
I don't know how
to get their actual total daily average players, which I think is just very helpful when it comes to understanding these numbers and seeing if they're actually reputable. Again, though, all of these are estimates. There's no real formal answer to this. Even me giving you these numbers are not necessarily formalized. But I do want to also talk about, what do I think is good with this data? What do I think is bad? And what are some variables that I'm just not going to be able to extrapolate for? The first thing is I think the numbers are good. I think that it's a good jumping off point to just get an idea as to how popular the Elder Scrolls Online is, because everyone just points to the Steam charts as if that's the only way that people play ESO. And as somebody who's never played ESO through Steam, I'm always like, well, this is really goofy. Why do people just point at these numbers and say, well, this is how many players there are? Because PCs, you know, population is the highest, but I think that doesn't account for PCs also having a lot of people playing through the launcher, the Epic Game Store, and so on. I do want to also note that I actually think that this number is also flawed too. I think that PlayStation is actually...
Okay, so pretty much he summed it up with that right there. You know, not everybody is playing through the Epic Game, the Steam launcher. So for us to let me get back in front of the camera. For us to just say that, you know, ESO is only 10,000 players would be ridiculous. It's probably more about 15,000 players, which is not like, oh my god, look at how many players. It's just the game 100% is dying. That's what I got out of this. But also, it still has more than 100 players playing. People seem to think there's only 100 players playing, 200. Who plays this game? This game, for a 10-year-old game, has a decent amount of players. And you're talking, you know, a game that not necessarily is a game where it has a lot of kids playing. Like, you know, because remember, kids are at home, they play their video games, they go to school, they don't have to work, or they play Fortnite, they get off, they play Fortnite, they do it again and again. But for us adults, what game do we go to? GTA, Elder Scrolls, Call of Duty. Some adults like me go to Fortnite. But at the end of the day, this game, I'm gonna point them out. This game is not necessarily dead. It's dying, but not dead. Unfortunately, we lose some great players here and there, but at the end of the day, hey, I'm just glad that I get to play video games when I get off of work. You know, it would suck not to be able to play video games. So, whether it's this game or another game, I definitely appreciate it. I enjoy it. Thanks again, JakeClips. Appreciate it. Go tell E-Man what you seen here. Hey, it's all on you, but definitely appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys like the video, like it. Appreciate all your guys' support, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Out.